is started right now. All right, so we're going to jump into doing this. So the way today is going to work is, since, again, you all didn't have any serious issues, I'm really proud of everybody getting everything working. Awesome. You're all amazing. All right. And you don't have any questions so far. That's awesome. We're going to jump right into the project overview of what we're going to be working on this term. Okay. So this term, we're going to be in American history. We're going to be working on founding of America DBQ. All right. For those of you who don't remember, we've done DBQs, I think, twice before this school year. But for you all who don't remember what that is, that's a document-based question. You're going to be reading documents from the time in which the United States was created, and then you are going to be answering questions. So we're going to be doing that. It's going to be the same pattern that you all are used to, where we're going to read some documents together in these classes, and then on your own time, you're going to do the checkpoint. And then kind of like each week, that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to go over some documents together as a whole group. I'm going to walk you through filling out a graphic organizer. And then on your own time, you're going to work on answering the checkpoint. All right. So, but here's a question that we're going to sort of start off to start brainstorming things. When you hear American, what does it mean to be an American? This is one of the central questions that we're going to be focusing on in this document-based question. Is what does it mean to be an American? And when you hear the word American, what does it mean? Does anybody want to try and show out some initial ideas that they have of, like, what does it mean to be an American? You can also put it in the chat if you don't want to talk. There's the chat function, which is in the upper right-hand corner. So if folks could just share out when they get a chance, when you hear these two questions, what does it mean to be an American? And when you hear American, what comes to mind? Feel free
Make your own decisions and, your own choices on how you want to live, where you want to live.
Awesome. That's great. That was Speller, right?
Denise.
Denise. Okay. Okay. Good job, Denise. Oh, to be free. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Kendra. Anybody else want to throw anything out there?
To be equal, no matter what your race is.
To be equal no matter what your race is. Yeah, that's definitely like one of the big, dreams here in America. That's really awesome. Thanks, Denise. All right. All right. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to show you some quotes from other students, all right, throughout the country about what their answers are to these questions. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to take the next 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to set an alarm for 2 minutes, and then I want you to read over these, and then I want you to share in the chat, or at the end of the 2 minutes, you can talk about it, about which one of these you think is most spot on. Okay. Which of these other students throughout the country, which of their visions of what it means to be an American, what do you think is spot on? What do you agree with the most? Or if you don't agree with any of these, what do you disagree with? Which one do you think is the most full of crap? So you can go either way. You can be like, I really agree with one of these, or I really disagree with one of these. So I'm starting my timer now, and you all have 2 minutes to think about this, read over these, and then either put it in the chat or share out at the end of 2 minutes. All right, we got 30 seconds rather, not 13 seconds. You're all doing a really good job putting stuff in chat. I really, really appreciate y'all participating. You're doing a fantastic job. All right, I know online distance learning is hard, and it's something we all got to get used to, but you're doing a really good job so far. All right, we got Liv agrees with Hannah. Kareem says disagreed with or agrees with Morgan and says because we have freedom and liberty. Oh, there's my alarm. Cool. And then we've got Tamai believes that we don't have complete freedom, and she disagrees with, let's see. Oh, no, none. Okay, you don't agree with anybody, Tamai, and you don't believe we have complete freedom. Okay, cool. Does anybody want to verbally share out what they think about one of these responses? And Nasir says he doesn't agree with Caitlin because we're not free. Okay, that's a really good. Well, that's bad, but it's a really insightful. Yeah. Does anybody want to share out verbally what they think? Be brave enough. This is no different than if we were sitting in my room. We're just all much more comfortable. This chair is much more comfortable than standing up, let me tell you. No? Okay. Well, I really appreciate everything y'all shared in chat. It was all really insightful. Yeah, and I definitely see what you're saying. Like, I do think that probably all these people probably oversell how free people are when you look at just how unequal things are right now. And you can just look at with what's going on right now with the COVID crisis, right? Poor people, Hispanic people, African Americans, they're much more affected by what's going on than, white people are, and particularly rich people. And you're just sort of seeing that equality that we all promise out there isn't actually as equal as we would think. So let's jump into the next thing. So these are 2 videos, and we're going to look at some videos about what it means to be an American. Now, I'm going to try and make the video work over the call, and I want you to tell me in the chat, or you can tell me verbally if you hear it, okay? If you don't hear it, I will share the video in the chat, and then you can all do it, all right? So I'm going to press play and see if you can hear it. Did y'all hear it? Can you hear it? Okay, you can. Thank you, Tamai. All right, cool. All right, you can't hear it. So I'm going to then put the first video in the chat. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Nope. There we go. All right, cool. So the first video, which is from NPR, I'm going to put that in the chat.
You gotta unmute the video, bro.
The video is unmuted. And I can't manually, Google's not letting me unmute that slideshow. So I will just send you guys the video. Just give me 1 sec. All right, so there's the first video. It's about 3 minutes long. So I'm going to give you all 3 minutes to watch this first video. I'm starting the timer now, and then we'll talk, and then we'll go on to the next one. I'm actually going to watch it myself again because I haven't watched it since yesterday.
Hello. Mr. Rogers, what we doing? Like, you quiet?
Somebody told me one time. They said if you don't take
Denim, I've shared the video link in there. You're supposed to be watching the video.
Oh, snap.
All right, did you not hear my instructions about that? I'm sorry.
No.
You're supposed to be watching the video. That's okay. You can watch the next one. It's not a big deal. Has
Alright.
everybody finished the video?
No.
All right. Well, we'll wait a couple more minutes, or about a minute or so. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll move on to the second one. Okay. In fact, I'll put the second video's link in the chat. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where are the videos? Here, this is the second one. Okay. Here is the second one. Cool. There's the second video for those of you who have finished. The one that's got Barack right there in the nice pause screen. Okay. So again, I'm sorry for the silence. We're just sort of making sure that folks are watching the video so that we can have a discussion either in the chat or over the voice about what these videos and what these people are saying about what it means to be an American.
We can
Okay.
watch one of Barack right now.
Yeah, watch the second one, the one of Barack, the second one I just sent. Let's start that one up, okay? All right, I'm gonna press play on it here so you can see that I've started it too.
Okay. Okay. Oh, snap. Okay, did folks get to the end of that one?
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, so there's one more video. I'm going to switch to that slide and some questions on all three of the videos. So I'm going to grab that video right now to share with you all too. Give me 1 second. All right. So here is, where's the chat? Yeah, here's the chat. All right, here's the third video. All right, so that's That's the last video. So press play when you get a chance, and then think about these 3 questions. Okay, that's what we're gonna be spending a good amount of time talking about now. All right, is look at these 3 questions. What ideas from the videos resonated with you? What was meaningful for you? What did you agree with? What spoke to you? Second, was there anything you read or heard that you disagreed with? Okay, so is there anything that you heard or saw in these videos that you didn't like, that you disagreed with? And then after watching these videos, what do you think it means to be an American? So take your own feelings that we had when we talked about the beginning of this and tell me, what do you think it means to be an American? So we're going to spend some time talking about these questions after we watch the 3rd video. So go ahead. I'm pressing play on my end, and y'all should press play on yours. Cool. All right. So, folks, think. All right. So, Denise is saying that was the best one. Okay, cool. Why was that the best one, Denise? All right. Kendra says.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. It was real deep. He spoke on a lot of stuff.
Okay. So, what? Well, but give me take that to the next level. Why just did he speak to a lot of stuff? What kind of stuff did he speak to? Like what resonated with you? Like what was he speaking to that really reached you?
Basically the pros and the cons of being American and living in America.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have anything else like specific, like that they want to say about that video, or they want to say about the other video? Because he got the point about Americans.
I agree with Denise.
Okay, why do you agree with
nothing-
Denise, Bella?
Because it like he was talking about some real stuff. It's really not, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, what kind of real stuff was he talking about? Like, give me an example from the video.
Like what's going on in America. Like he was saying like stuff that was happening.
And Malik added in there that people have their chances, but they make excuses. Good.
Yeah.
The fatherless
Like
kids.
people
Okay.
they don't take the opportunity, but some opportunity are being presented to other people rather than us black people, I guess.
Okay, good. All right, to have rights. Okay, awesome. All right, did anything in the other videos speak to anybody? Did anybody like any of the other ones?
I didn't like the other videos.
You didn't like the other videos? Why?
No.
Nah, says Kareem. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So it's just really this last one that y'all liked?
Yep.
Okay, so
It's like I can relate to the other one.
you can relate to this one, or you can't relate to the other ones. Is that what you're trying to say?
I meant this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem, Teron. So you've said that you can relate to that one, but you couldn't relate to the other two?
Yeah, I couldn't really relate to that because, like, yeah, I couldn't, like, visualize myself, like, going through something like that.
Okay, that's completely fair. That's very, very fair. Anybody else have anything else they want to add about any of these videos before I sort of turn us to the third and most important question here? Okay, so Tamai says maybe it was deeper for them, but it seemed like they were complaining for people asking them where they were from or what their race are. Yeah, I think what the people in those other videos were trying to say is that people just assumed because they were Indian or Asian that, they weren't Americans, that they couldn't be from this country. That's what the point I think that they were trying to make there, that, they were, like me, my family goes back a long time in America, right? And people just assume that that's the case, but they don't do that with people of like Indian descent or Asian descent, even though Asian Americans have been in this country for almost as long as white people. There's been Indian Americans have been here for a long time. Like that, the point is that anybody, no matter their skin tone, can be as American as anybody else. I think that's what the point that they're trying to get across there. All right. Anything else about the videos? Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay. So the third question here, I think, is the most important. So let's watch all these videos and what we talked about at the beginning of today. All right. What do you think it means to be an American? All right, and I'm going to give us time to think about that. Don't just immediately put something in. I really am going to I'll give us 1 minute and 30 seconds to think about it. I'm starting my timer right now. I want you to really think about it and then put it either in the chat or share it out. Okay? All right, I want you to think about this because this is an important question that we're going to be coming back to over and over again in this class. Okay?
Genuinely emotional all the time for the COVID-19. Well, that's right. When tragedy.
What we doing, Rogers?
So we're thinking about the third question. I want you to think about your answer to the third question. Okay? After watching the videos, what does it mean to be an American? What is your point of view? Think about what you felt when you started today. Think about what we learned in the videos, the perspectives we saw in the videos, and then I want you to give me an answer. I want everybody either in the chat or verbally to give me an answer if you can, okay? About what they think it means to be an American. Just like if we were in the classroom, I make you write it down. Well, here I want you to type it in there. And we've got about 30 seconds more of thinking that I'm going to really start pushing y'all.
And the third thing is to eat food with a lot of volume. So popcorn, here's popcorn, a lot of volume, low calories. Watermelon, a lot of volume, low calories. Pickles, a lot of volume, low calories. Those are the type of food.
To correlate your
All right, that's the alarm. All right, so if you all can start sharing out now in the chat, what are your answers to be what it means to be an American? All right, Kareem, you say, I honestly don't know what it means to be an American, which is completely fair. So why do you think it's hard for you to like figure out what it means to be an American? Why don't you think you might not know? Like what's difficult about figuring that out?
Because, well, I agree with her because I don't know either.
Okay, why? Like what's giving you trouble, Bella?
Because I'm not American, so I don't know.
You're not an American?
No.
No.
What you mean you're not American?
Who's not an American?
You cooking something, Denise?
Yeah, chicken finger.
Me.
Okay. So we've got Malik says to be an American is to have rights and be treated equal as everybody else. Good. And Denise says to be American is to live peacefully. Hold on. To live peacefully. No matter what your religion is, no matter what your sexuality or race, we should all have freedom and fair. All good stuff. All right. And Liv says they think American means you have freedom. Is basically saying we have freedom, which is true. People in America go through a lot of pain and judgment just to be an American. That I think Nasir, I think you did a really good job also hitting it on the head there. I think like if you can take what Denise is saying there and then also what you just said there, Nasir, I think to me that is really the crux of what it means to be American, the center of what it means to be an American, right? Because I think that's really insightful, y'all. Y'all are doing a really fantastic job. Like this is hard stuff, and we're doing a distance learning here, and that's always hard. So I really appreciate y'all participating. So let's see some folks though who haven't thrown anything out there yet today, like Speller. Come on.
Did you mark me in?
I have marked you in. You're on my list right here. I will be putting in the computer when we're done here, Bella. Yep, and Nasir's adding on to his answer to be a little bit more free than others. That's spot on, Nas.
No, I'm not doing it. Who do you think you fucking bossing?
Fine, go with it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add so they can get their thoughts out here?
What kind of crime?
Going once.
Yeah, I'm adding mine.
All right, go ahead, Karan. What you got to say?
I'm typing it.
All right, type it. Cool. All right. Again, you all are doing like an utterly fantastic job here. And I have got you all down for your attendance. All right. It will all go in the computer. All that good stuff. To be free and to have rights. Good job, Kendra. Yep. Anybody else? I know Ron's typing. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next slide while Ron types. All right, so our project is going to focus on what it means to be an American and where these ideals came from. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the foundation of the United States, when this country got its independence from Britain, how that went about, and how Americans created their own independent nation. All right. Luckily, Philadelphia is the center of this, so you all should be at least somewhat familiar with this story, but we're going to be learning a lot about it. All right. There are sort of four questions that we are going to be answering, okay? We're going to answer the question, what does it mean to be an American? What are the American ideals? So what do Americans believe? What do we hold to be true about ourselves that we think is the most important things? Now, we don't always necessarily live up to those ideals, but what do Americans believe is the center of their identity? What it means to be an American? And where did those ideas come from? Where did those ideals come from? So that's the second question. What are American ideals and where did they come from? The third question that we're going to be answering is, how were American ideals manifested and contested during America's founding? That's a fancy way of saying, how did people argue about these things? Who was left in the ideals? Who was left out of these ideals? Who got to benefit from them and who didn't get to benefit from them? And we're going to learn about who was on the inside, who was on the outside of this American founding, who won and who lost out during when we made our own independent nation here in the United States. And finally, the fourth question, what is the meaning of American ideals today? So what does it mean to be an American today? Okay, so there are sort of four things that will be going on in this class then to answer these four questions. We're going to learn about how and why America became its own country. We will learn about the American ideals that emerged during the country's founding and how they were manifested in the United States founding documents. We're going to learn about who was excluded from realizing American ideals during the country's founding and understand the meaning of American ideals today. So we're going to be participating in a lot of activities that we're going to be doing each week. We're starting next week. There's going to be a bunch of different activities that we're going to do together to get through this. And at the end, you're going to be writing an essay about this subject matter, All right. And that DBQ essay has three things, but I'm going to check in real quick with the chat. Does anybody have any questions about what I just said right here? About what we're going to be covering in this class? No, says Liv. Okay, cool. All right. So what is a DBQ essay? Those of you who have me for my American history class that we did about Native American history earlier in the year, and then the French Revolution class, the thing you had to do alongside the poster was a DBQ essay. It's a document-based question essay, all right? And you're going to be looking at a set of primary sources. Do people remember what primary sources are? Does anyone want to give me a definition of what a primary source is in the chat?
A source that's reliable.
It's a source is reliable, yes. Why is it reliable, though? Why is it reliable? Because it comes from where? Is it somebody, me telling you about something that happened in the past, or is it something from that
historic, historic things?
Yeah, it's historic things, right? It's things from the time period we're trying to learn about, right? It's not Mr. Rogers telling you about what Thomas Jefferson said. It's being able to read what Thomas Jefferson wrote. Look at things that, artifacts that are surviving from that time period, right? That's why it's, more reliable than what people say today necessarily, is because we can look back and see what people produced back then and get a clearer picture of what the people had to say for themselves about what was going on. Now, of course, sometimes people lie about those things, but it's definitely the place to start. Okay, so you're going to be looking at the primary source document set. So actual letters, article, like newspaper stories, descriptions that people wrote in their journals and diaries about what was going on in that time period. All right. And you're going to be using those documents to answer a question about the American founding. All right. And being able to do this is extremely important. One, because it's the kind of stuff that you're going to have to do in college for your college history classes, but also for English classes, do things like this. And it's the kind of skills, the ability to read documents and use them to answer a question is something that you will be using a lot if you go on to college. But even if you don't, it's an important set of skills because in life, you're going to find yourself in those situations. Your boss gives you a bunch of stuff that you've got to read and bring it all together and answer a question about it. And that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be practicing here in this class with this DBQ essay. And it's also the kind of stuff that like real historians, like my wife do, that they look at documents like this and they come up with arguments about what was going on in the past. And that's the kind of stuff that you're going to be doing in this class. All right. So, all right. So this is what you're going to need for the essay. All right. There's going to need to be an introductory paragraph. It's going to have a clear thesis statement. It's going to have at least one body paragraph. It's going to have evidence from the documents in each body paragraph and a conclusion paragraph. It's the same kind of essay format that we've been following if you've been taking my classes this whole school year. It's the same kind of stuff whenever we write an essay. We want to make sure we have an introduction that lays out our thesis that says, here's what I'm going to be saying about these documents. Then we've got body paragraphs that use evidence to make that argument to convince Mr. Rogers that what we're saying is true. And then a conclusion paragraph that brings it all together. All right. So there's 6 cognitive skills, 6 things I'm going to use to grade you. All right. Which you can see up here. I'll go more in detail about them later. And then the important thing is that each checkpoint, and we're going to be doing a bunch of different checkpoints, is going to practice these skills. It's going to practice writing an introduction. It's going to practice making a thesis statement. It's going to be practice writing a body paragraph. Again, same kind of stuff that you do all the time for me back in physical school, you're going to be doing in remote school too. All right. And then this is what's going on in these different checkpoints. Okay. So checkpoint 1, which we'll be doing next week, all right, is going to be looking at point of view and purpose, all right, where you're going to come up with an introduction and an analysis in body paragraphs. Then checkpoint 2, we're going to learn about contextualizing sources, where we're going to be, again, working on the introduction, putting in arguments in the body paragraph. Then we're going to be synthesizing multiple sources. We're going to be taking a bunch of different documents and bringing them together to make a single argument, to make a single point of view. All right. Then we're going to work on sharpening our thesis statement in checkpoint 4, alongside picking the right evidence to make our argument. Okay. And then the last checkpoint, checkpoint 5, will involve the integration of evidence, bringing it all together, making sure that your evidence is integrated into your argument, that it's not just random quotes slapped all around a paragraph, that the quotes are designed to make your argument, to make your point of view. All right. So these are the things that you're going to need to do for the final product in this class. Do folks have questions about the big picture of what we're going to be doing for the next 8 weeks? No? Okay. Cool. All right. So the good news, though, is this week you don't have to do anything in Summit. We're starting checkpoint 1 next week. Okay. So what we're going to be doing, what your assignment is for this week, is you're going to need to watch some YouTube videos that I made about the subject matter, about the early history of America and what started the American Revolution, and then take notes. It's going to be very similar to what we would have done in class, but you're going to be able to do it on your own time and at your own pace, and I'll have all kinds of videos for you. All right. In fact, I made a bunch of different video series for you. So I'm going to put the videos that you need to watch in the chat right now. And you're also going to be getting an email probably, in about an hour or so with all this stuff laid out. So those are the videos you need to watch. There are 4 of them, and they're all really short, and you're going to watch those. There's me going over my PowerPoint presentation, narrating things, and in the description to those videos, you'll find the original PowerPoints as well. All right. So even if you are like, oh, Mr. Rogers is going way too fast, I don't like doing this, plus, pressing stop every 5 minutes to make sure I can answer the study questions, then you can also just go into the original PowerPoints and do it at your own pace. So there's multiple ways for you all to engage with this activity. So you don't just have to use my videos. You can also follow the PowerPoints. The link is right. I'm putting the link back in, Denim. So after you watch the videos, y'all are going to want to go to these study questions. I'm going to send you the link in a second. All right, the study questions. All right, these study questions are no different than what you would have normally done in my class. Right, they're the same kind of study questions.
Wait, you said the study
That's the
questions
first
on the Google
checkpoint?
Docs?
No, it's not the first checkpoint. The first checkpoint we're starting next week. This is the stuff you need to know to do the checkpoint.
That's on the
question,
Google
Ron.
Docs?
It's Google Docs. I'm about to share the link with y'all right now in the chat. And again, you'll also be getting an email with all this stuff in it too, okay? So the most important thing is that you want to check your email, all right? Every day, you want to make sure you check your email multiple times, particularly in the morning, and then you want to check it a couple times after class, all right? So in the chat, I now put the links to the 2 study questions, all right? The important thing that you do here is that you, what does it say here? Note, don't forget to make your own Google Docs copy of this document so that you can answer questions. Does everybody know how to do that? How to make your own copy of a document? Yes or no?
No.
What you mean
No.
on copy?
I don't know how to do
So,
that.
okay, I will show you, all right? That's the whole point. All right, so when you go to this document, when you open it up, everybody see on the screen, I've gone to the file up here in the upper right-hand corner, upper left-hand corner, excuse me, where it says file. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
All right, you click file, and then there's a bunch of options here. And then the 4th one here says make a copy, right? And then you click make a copy, you get this screen, and you would click OK. And then that's going to make a copy that you can edit.
Do that now.
You can do that now. You can do
Wait,
it whenever you want.
You said
Look.
click on file and do what?
Click on file and then go to make a copy. It's the 4th option, Ron. 4th option.
All right.
You see where it says make a copy? It says share, new, open, and then make a copy. You want to click make a copy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Very patriotic. I think being an American means just having opportunity.
Oh, somebody might have pressed play on a video. All right. So there's 2 different sets of study questions. You need to watch the videos, look at the PowerPoints, and the PowerPoints are all in the YouTube video description, right? Like, so we can go over. I can go. Let's see. Let's look at one of them. Colonial America, right? All right. So Colonial America. So for example, I'm going to copy over this one. All right. So you all can see. All right. Here's the video I made. All right. And then at the bottom here, we click show more. All right. It's got, you can find part 1 of the video here. You can find the study questions, and it has the link to the original presentation all down in there. So it's all one-stop shopping so that you can all have access to the resources that you need to be able to do this work. Okay. All right, Denim, you can watch the videos on your phone, and you can also edit. You can also do Google Docs on your phone, okay? All that stuff can be done on your phone. All right, you can watch YouTube videos on your phone, and then you can use Google Docs on your phone if that's what you need to do, okay? And if you want, we can chat more once I dismiss everybody in a couple minutes. If you want to talk one-on-one with me, I can talk to you about how to do it, okay?
Oh, we could do that?
You can do this part on
questions?
your phone. Now, we're going to start using Summit in this class next week, and you can't do Summit on your phone, okay? You have to use a laptop, okay? But Bella, you got your laptop from Miss Kelsey, and right?
You said we're doing something next week?
She ain't drop it off yet.
Okay, she hasn't dropped it off yet? Okay. What? Somebody ask a question? Yes, no? Okay. Does anybody else have any other general questions that they want to ask about this? About what the responsibility is for you all?
Are we filling out them questions right now?
No, you can do it. It's not due until, that's a great question, Denise. It's not due until next Monday. You have the whole, or next Tuesday, excuse me, we're not Monday anymore. Or Tuesday. You're my Tuesday class. All right. It's not due until next Tuesday. You don't have to share that document with me until next Tuesday. Okay. So so that's how the school works. We sit here for 90 minutes. In fact, we're not even doing the whole 90 minutes today, right? Because we got through the entry event really well. You all did a great job. All right. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to dismiss you all and you can do the work now. Or if you want to go and chill for a little while and then do the work later today, or do it Thursday, or do it Saturday, whenever. All you've got to do is make sure that it's done by next Tuesday. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Cool. And we're not using Summit this week. Next week, we'll be using Summit. But I wanted to start this week off with you all watching the video so that we can all understand the content.
So use the videos to answer your study guide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Got you.
That's what you're supposed to do. Great question, Izza. Great question. All right. Any other whole group questions? Okay. Yes, I am going to email this to you, Kendra. Like probably about noon, I'm going to email it to you all. So like between 12 and 12:30, you're going to get an email that's going to have all these resources. Yep. Good question. Good question. Any other questions?
No.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to end the recording. And then, all right, now, give me 1 second.
Mr. Roger, I'm going to text you on a personal level.
Okay.